Good morning to you all, my friends. Welcome to our first Christ Kids time, which is what is going to be our time that we have for our children's message throughout the summer. Hey, we figured out that sometimes when we're in worship and watching worship on a screen, it's really, really hard to focus long enough to be able to make it to the children's message in worship. So we've created this time that's just for you. So buckle up, and in the next few weeks throughout the summer, me and Pastor Nate and Miss Susie will be guiding you through our Christ Kids Children's Time each Sunday. I know with Miss Susie, you started each Sunday school time with a song called Rise and Shine. So let's go ahead and start our Christ Kids time together with that. Will you sing with me? Here we go. Rise and shine and welcome to Christ the King. Rise and shine and welcome to Christ the King. Rise and shine and welcome to Christ the King. We're so glad you're here. Let's sing it again. Rise and shine and welcome to Christ the King. Rise and shine and welcome to Christ the King. Rise and shine and welcome to Christ the King. We're so glad you're here. Thanks for singing with me. So every time we come together for Christ Kids this summer, we're going to sing a song. We're going to hear a story. You'll hear the children's message for the day. We'll say a prayer, and we'll close with a song. So here's our story for this week. Our story this week comes from the book of Exodus, chapter 19. I have my really tiny Bible out to read it to you this morning. So if you see me squinting, it's because the words are really small. Here we go. They set out from Rephidim and came into the wilderness of Sinai, and they encamped in the wilderness. There Israel encamped before the mountain, while Moses went up to God. The Lord called out to him from the mountain, saying, "Thus you shall say to the house of Jacob and tell the people of Israel, you yourselves have seen what I did to the Egyptians, and how I bore you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now therefore, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, you shall be my treasured possession among all peoples, for all earth is mine. And you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words that you shall speak to the people of Israel." So Moses came and called the elders of the people and set before them all these words that the Lord had commanded them. All the people answered together and said, "All that the Lord has spoken, we will do." So, you know how we have all these things and people in our lives, and they all have a purpose. So, let's see. I'm going to hold this up. Do you see? It's a fork. What's the purpose of a fork? Is it maybe you've watched The Little Mermaid and maybe it's to brush our hair? No, that's not how we use a fork. We use a fork. The purpose of the fork is to get the food from our plates and into our mouths. From our plates and into our mouths. And sometimes if you're being really sneaky, you can use a fork to fling it. So it's fling food at something. But don't tell your moms and dads that I told you that. What about this thing? Does this look familiar? Maybe you wear one of these, or maybe your family wears one of these. This is a mask. What's the purpose of a mask? Do you know? The purpose of a mask is to help us, keep us safe so that we don't spread our germs to other people. And so you see a lot of people wearing these right now, and they're doing that to keep everyone safe from the coronavirus. So that's the purpose of a mask. Let's see. Let's look at this thing. A book. This is a book that I keep in my office. It's about baptism. What do books do? You probably use books at school, right? Or maybe you read books for fun. What's the purpose of a book? Could it be to help us get smarter? books, we read books so that we can learn new things and new ideas. So a book has a purpose, right? So what about this picture right here and all those people in that? Do you think those people have purpose? In our story that we read, God told Moses that the people of Israel had a purpose and that they were treasured people in God's heart. And God's purpose for the people of Israel was that they would be priests and holy people who tell the world about God's love. So when we think about these people up here, is it possible that maybe their purpose is like the same purpose of the Israelites? And God told the people of Israel, and these people right here, that their purpose is to share God's love with the world, so that the whole world can know about how good and faithful God is. So just like the Israelites in our Exodus story this morning, you too have purpose, because you are one of the people from Christ the King who are maybe in this picture. You're part of our church family. And so God has a special purpose for you and for all the people of our church. And our purpose is to tell the world about God's love. Pretty cool, huh? Let's put one hand in the air. Let's put the other in the air. Let's clap them together. And will you please pray with me? Repeat after me. Dear God, thank you for giving us purpose, purpose. We know that you are the one, who made us priests, to share your love, with the rest of the world, We give you thanks for this gift. And we'll grow it out just like we're at church. Here we go. Amen. Let's close our time together in song. Will you join me in singing This Little Light of Mine? You can read the lyrics right up there. Here we go. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next week for Christ's Kid Worship Time.